When UIC faculty become teaching scholars at UIC Center for the Advancement of Teaching and Learning Communities, or affectionately known as TLC, they are asked to identify a student who has taken the course that they aim to reform. The student becomes their TLC student advisor for a semester. The student advisor offers feedback on any curricular, instructional, and/or assessment aspect of the course that the teaching scholar seeks to innovate and enhance. Hanan Esmailbeigi, a faculty in UIC's Department of Bioengineering, has been a teaching scholar during both of the years of the TLC's existence. Hanane focused on strengthening different aspects of her practice in each of the 2 years, but worked with the same TLC student advisor and the graduate student Darius Ansari. In this brief video case, Darius reflects on his experience as student advisor and the impact on his learning, while Hanane offers her sense of the importance of TLC's student advisors. This video case highlights the symbiotic relationship between faculty and student that is essential for successful teaching innovation.
In the previous course that we worked together, it was more of a technical course in which we had to actually review some specific materials for their teaching quality, as well as some assignments. But in this course, it was more about outreach and trying to recruit people as best as we could, and what we thought that the students would enjoy taking part in this social project, rather than what teaching materials are best for teaching the students. So it was a bit different in that regard. I think one of my better qualities is understanding why we're learning something and what the teacher or what the professor is trying to accomplish by showing us things. And I also have as a student, I have a pretty good read on what the other students are absorbing from the material. And so I think that Dr. Esmailbeigi recognized that I'm pretty good at being sensitive to what other people are feeling, and so I could convey that to her more effectively than maybe someone else could. The only reason that it worked out so well is it's a two-way road. It's also I have to provide the feedback about the teaching materials and everything, but I also have to be able to induce a change in the course of instruction in order for that to manifest itself in improved learning outcomes for students. I think Dr. Esmailbeigi is very receptive to the feedback that I give her. She's very receptive to the feedback from the classes overall, and she takes it very seriously. And so I think that if it were anyone else, maybe there would be varying degrees of success, but I think Dr. Esmailbeigi is very excellent at taking criticism well and making adaptive changes to address problems or any other suggestions that I might throw at her. I've taken the courses, well, as college students, you take a course and then you're given those kind of instructor evaluation things that people might not take seriously, or you kind of just do it just to get them done and you don't get spammed with emails anymore. But it's a very different feeling when you actually are able to recall your experiences with a certain exam or with a certain slideshow, or maybe you notice something could be taught better if some concept was introduced earlier in the course. And so it just makes it feels more empowering in some way to be able to make a direct change to the course, or make a direct suggestion to the professor and elaborate on your ideas in a way better than simply writing something out on an instructor evaluation. Last semester, when we talked about highly detailed concepts of signal processing and everything related, it's very obvious the changes that we made together and how they impact students' learning throughout the slides, and also through results on answering questions and just class participation. It's very easy when you're a student to just be sitting there and someone shows information to you and you just study it, and then you're not sure why exactly you're learning something. But having worked on both sides, like trying to find what is most effective for teaching and what is and being a student, it kind of helps you see how professors are trying their hardest to write extra problems like Dr. Esmailbeigi is, and give certain emphasis to certain concepts at certain times. It all starts to fit together, and it affected my performance in other classes once I started to think critically about why the professor is choosing to show me something, as well as what I should be getting out of it.
His very good at seeing both students' perspective, the bigger goal, and how this course fits into a bigger training set of the students, and in the future how it could be helpful for them and how they can benefit from it and take something from it. And he also sees the advisor's point of view, the instructor's point of view. So his outlook on any problem is very unique and interesting. As a teaching scholar, as I mentioned last year too, I think one of the most beneficial factors for me was actually working with Darius and getting his feedback. And I highly recommend that to any faculty, to identify a student like him that would be able to provide them with that honest, very mature and interesting feedback. And that was the best part of my experience with TLC.